leave your best friend behind, but what if your pet isn't excited about going and it's not even from your driving? The Hemp House has a variety of products for dogs as well. Visit hemphousechat.com for more information.
I can't see you as I ask this question, but anybody out there who is or has ever been a proud Boy Scout, raise your hand. And now here's something, you snuck up on me. The guest I'm going to introduce to you. Okay, this is Jared Pickens, who is the CEO of the Boy Scouts, and he raised his hand when I asked that question. Next to him is John J.J. German, who himself is a proud Boy Scout and Eagle Scout at that. Good to see you
Absolutely.
both.
Great to be here. Thank you for having us.
All right, well, you elbowed in. Let's get right to it. We are talking this morning because A, you're a very brave man, Jared. And you came to town 3 years ago in the midst of COVID when everything was shutting down. People would not really get together to be involved with the group, and yet you managed, in your role as CEO, to keep the Boy Scouts Cherokee Area Council thriving. So this morning we're talking about how your kids, boys and girls, can sign up and become a Boy Scout, but you're also wanting to send a message to the alumni out there. Is that right?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, through COVID, we had fantastic help, board members like JJ who led the way, and we have right now over 1,200 registered adult volunteers. And so I always give them a shout out because they're the real MVPs of our success so far.
Well, let's talk about you, JJ, because Jared was quick to give you some cred. You helped to get him here.
Yes, I was part of the selection committee, and we had a lot of really qualified candidates, but Jared just rose to the top. We realized this is the guy that had energy and the vision to take scouting further here.
So we were having this conversation before the cameras rolled, and I was asking Jared what got him into scouting, and it was kind of a long story, but the synopsis is that you did what was in front of you at the time, and connections led you into this job.
Absolutely. You know, when I was in college and high school, I never even dreamed of a career in the Boy Scouts of America. But now, after being involved for about 15 years, I've really become a scout. And you know, full transparency, I raised my hand. I wasn't a scout when I was growing up, but my father is an Eagle Scout. I always got to listen to the great stories that he got to do on his scouting adventures.
Right.
And now my son Theodore, who's 5.5 and is in kindergarten, and I raised my hand because I'm actually a scout leader for his Lion Cub Scout Den.
Love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your son Theodore then, because I was going to go in this direction anyway. I think sometimes people think, well, if I sign up to be a scout, I might not be able to make that commitment all the way through high school.
Sure.
If you're in Boy Scouts for a month, you're going to learn something that will carry you through your life.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Or as a parent, I tell you, myself and Ellis and Jim and some of the other den leaders, I think we would all say we've learned as much, maybe more than our kids have, just by being involved.
So you're Eagle Scout, JJ.
Yes.
What was your project?
We did a conservation project for a hiking trail that had been washed away, and the Forest Service hadn't had the opportunity to repair it, so we went in and repaired it. We put in brakes to stop erosion, and redid the path, and it was a pretty extensive path. It took a lot of planning, a lot of scout volunteers, had to raise money for the project. It taught you a lot about project management. And a good skill set.
And we're not going to get into your line of work, but a lot about business, right?
A lot about business.
And so it sets you up for being able to be what so many people think kids today have a difficult time being, which is connected, engaged, feeling a part of something. If you give them the opportunity, they'll jump at it.
Certainly. I tell you what's really fascinating, I mentioned I wasn't directly involved in scouting as a young person. I was in 4-H, which, by the way, fantastic program. But something that I realized as soon as I joined Boy Scouts is scouting is really a leadership program. And it's different because it allows every youth to learn to be a leader and also serve as a follower. So if you go take a lot of other youth leadership programs, you're going to sit in a classroom, you're going to be given examples, you're going to be given situations, and you're going to learn how to be a leader. Not many of those organizations also teach how to be a good follower.
That's a great
And so I
point.
really think you can't be a great leader unless you know what it's like to be a great follower.
You also can't be a great leader, I think, if you don't know who you are. Because some people lead in one way, and some people can lead quietly in another way. So as part of the appeal of the Boy Scouts, that your scout leaders get to kind of find out who each kid is and guide them to improve?
Absolutely, and the kids also are a little bit directional. They get to choose the different merit badges that they might be interested in. So while there's several that are required, like citizenship in the nation and the world and society, there are others like welding or mountain biking that they may get to choose on their own.
Yeah.
Does either of you know how old the Boy Scouts is?
It's over 100 years old. In
Okay.
fact, we celebrated our 100 years in 2010. So.
Isn't it interesting that everything old is new again, right? And that some things are just tried and true in life, and no matter how much this crazy world changes, the basic principles are still what we want. And that's what y'all provide. Okay, so what about the shout out you're doing to the alumni out there? For one thing, you don't have to be an Eagle Scout to be a Boy Scout alumni, is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. We're looking at, if you were a Cub Scout, only got to life or tenderfoot, wherever you were in scouting, you were a scout. So we're looking for you because we're trying to get you re-engaged in what scouting's doing in our community. And it's making a difference in our community too, in the youth. And I would love for other scouts out there who aren't engaged just to get the newsletter. We've got a place where you can just sign up for the newsletter and learn about all the things on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis that scouting's doing.
Do you need new chapters to open up, or are you pretty well served?
Oh, we'd love new chapters. We invite all families to be a part of our program, but I want to go back to some of what JJ was talking about too. It's like I mentioned with my story. We have a lot of people that I've met in the community, they don't consider themselves scouting alumni because they weren't scouts, but maybe they were a leader with their child or their child's group, and that also makes a difference. And so I don't think we're going to be able to really serve all Chattanoogans thoroughly until we bring back all of our alumni.
I asked you before we started if y'all wanted to mention the girls being now a part of the Boy Scouts,
Sure.
and I couldn't get the question out before. Yes, they said. You're thrilled with that.
Yeah, it's fantastic, especially myself being a father in a young family and interacting with other people at my school and neighborhood. Families do things just that way, as a family. If you have a son and a daughter, you want to go camping together and experience those things. It's very difficult to split them up and have different programs, especially in elementary school.
Yeah.
So when the Boy Scouts announced that they were going to allow young women to be a part of our historic programs and work their way towards earning the Eagle Scout rank, I was personally very excited.
Does Theodore have a favorite part of his
Ooh, that's a good question.
snacks?
Snacks. I would say we just went on a hike. Okay. So he's really interested in doing those fun outdoor things. But we got to go to the city hall and the fire department and work with emergency management. So he's enjoyed those experiences.
Don't you learn to tie a knot?
Oh, lots of knots.
Are you still good at it?
Lots of knots, yes. I can tie a knot very
I
well.
was never a Boy Scout. I was a Girl Scout for like a month. But we
Great.
had conflicts of scheduling things. But I do remember that I always know your motto. It's always be prepared. Is that right?
Yes, so that's correct.
Okay.
correct.
Always be prepared. So here's how you can sign up for that newsletter, learn more about how you can get your kids involved. And if you are an alumni, check out their Facebook page.
Yes.
Greater Chattanooga rather, Scouting Alumni. Like them on Facebook, and you can go to their website, which is CherokeeAreaSBA.com, and that's where you can learn far more. 11 counties, including in North Georgia. So pretty much if you're watching this, you can come be a scout.
Absolutely. We have about 2,000 scouts right now, and we love to add as many more families as possible.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Want a Zaxby's Big Zax snack meal for free? With free fingers, free fries, free Zax sauce, even free Texas toast?